welcome to Season 4 of Skillcast, the podcast by the London Organisation of Skills Development. My name is Nurbanu and I'm your host. I couldn't be more excited to embark on this new season with you. In Season 4, we're pushing boundaries and exploring the forefront of skills development. We'll discuss emerging trends, innovative practices, and the evolving landscape of professional growth. Our lineup features thought leaders, industry pioneers, and change makers who are redefining what's possible. Whether you're aiming to future-proof your career, ignite your passion, or simply enjoy insightful conversations, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Welcome to Skillcast, Jenny.
Hi.
How would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, such a good question. I wanted to ask you, you have heard my talk yesterday here in Cambridge. What is your general idea about me and the senses that I bring?
I think it's really interesting because you actually went into, you're talking about spiritual on a spiritual context from outside this physical plane, but you brought in science into it. And you actually use a lot of technical terms.
Yes.
So I'm not very familiar with all of those technical terms, but when you brought that technicality into it, your passion really came across that, wow, this girl is like, this is like fire right now, a beauty with brains. That's what I was thinking. It's so insightful. How did you get into this? Like, what's your journey?
So the journey of this, let's say, science plus spirituality started 4 years ago when I started an idea of Genie in a bottle. But of course, it all comes from personal stories because I was looking for answers for myself. Because I was quite successful, I had 8-figure business, marketing, all those things. I was working with famous people, my environment, and people who are friends with me are like world top people. And I was thinking like, okay, life is done. But I still was feeling that I'm not happy. I was feeling that something is empty inside. And even though I reached everything from nothing, and building my career from the very scratch, I realized that even though I achieved a lot of things, I still don't feel that satisfaction. And that understanding and realizations started my curiosity to search for an answer somewhere inside, not outside, not on reaching goals, not on getting new ticks, and I started to visit a lot of spiritual practices, meditations, tantra, active meditations, all those things. I went to ashram. I went to lots of retreats, and there was also my personal, very painful story. And searching for answers for myself, I realized that I was in a point where I don't want to live. That I don't understand why should I wake up today? Why should I live this day? And I was trying just to find meanings for myself. What should I do? Why should I live? Why should I do these business things? So there was nothing that was bringing me that happiness or satisfaction. And throughout lots of practices, I started to open a very beautiful world, the world that from the very childhood I was very connected with, but in those like achievements and business that I just forgot and I lost that connection. And throughout Kundalini, breathwork, Kundalini active meditations, tantra, I just opened up and I realized that I could be in the very awful state, in awful mood. But when I go to practice after 30 minutes, no matter how I was feeling before, in just 30 minutes, my state can change and I can be the most happy person in the world, connecting with myself. In that moment, I realized that it's just science. I mean, it's science of our state and that who we are, we're not just humans. And I had that experience of awakening, or we can call it in any way, but I was just connected to something that is much beyond the human perspective. And I started to see the world very differently. And I wanted to share this. And by that time, I already had my big blog. I had like 600,000 followers, 100 million views. And I'm that kind of person that cannot, I need to share everything that I go through, because it's so important for me just to give this love, to share it. And I started to share it like for free, and everyone was so like excited, and they would share with us these practices. How did you do? And I decided that like, okay, I cannot share it like personally, because it would take too much time. So I created an application that's called Genie in a Bottle, where I put all those practices that helped me. And it's like a really genie place where you can, for any kind of state, you feel angry, you feel that you don't have enough energy, you feel that you're not reaching goals as fast that you want. So for any kind of, let's say, problem, you have special practices that like in 30 minutes, in 1 hour, can make you feel much better. And scientifically, what I was sharing yesterday, the first thing that our transformation starts from is our state. It's not thought. We can think like, okay, to reach this goal or to feel better, I need to do this or that. But if you are like in feeling anxiety or fear, like your thought would not help you. First, you have to work on your state. And state is just, again, breath work, energy work, meditation. So there is like several practices that can, in 30 minutes, put you in the right state. And from the right state, you can think of how I want to feel, what I want to have, how to reach this goal or something else. So yeah, that's something that everything started from.
And I love that you went on this journey for yourself. Then you were always looking to find reasons behind it, the actual science behind it. You didn't just take it as a woo-woo thing. You were like, no, it's woo-woo, but it's also this is the real deal. And yes, there's so much science on how the brain reacts when we're in a meditative state, when we do certain yoga practice and stuff. And the fact that you're actually on that journey and you're kind of showing that the science behind spirituality, I think it's quite powerful, because a lot of people go into these practices, like, a lot of the mentors, a lot of the teachers, and they're very good at what they do, but they're not very good at backing up why they do in this particular sequence, or why that style of thing. So now take me back to your childhood now. What type of upbringing did you have?
Oh, wow. Like, I was born in a family of athletes, and my parents were coaches of athletics. And it was very, intellectual plus sporty family, even though we were living like very, let's say, poor lives from financial side. But I was extremely happy child, full of travels with sport and books. And I always remind those times with such warmth. So I was living almost on stadium. I had 3 trainings per day for 15 years, and I became a champion of Ukraine in athletics and running. And that time I was thinking like maybe running would be like all my life. But thankfully, I got trauma when I was 16, and then like my career in running finished. And that's why I started to put my attention into studies, into business, into marketing, and I became a part of marketing team in Nike. So, I believe that every situation in our life is always for us. And maybe in that moment when, of course, I got trauma, I was super disappointed, because I was preparing for Olympics and I was thinking, oh, I'll have this kind of career. And I was, of course, very sad because of this. But thanks to this, I'm much more happier now with the way my path was changing thanks to this situation. So the childhood was very, strong. And I was empowering my willpower and my character and my discipline. And thanks to this, as you said, like now, whenever what I do, if I go to spirituality, of course, I would combine it with business, with discipline, with science, with something that is backing up, just because my character is like this, because of my background, because it's amazing to meditate, it's amazing to do Kundalini, it's amazing to do lots of things. But again, it's scientifically proved that until our brain don't understand what we are doing and reasons behind it, we do not believe into the result for 100% just because we don't understand what we are doing. So if I tell you meditate and you will be happy, maybe like it depends on your background, maybe 50-50 you would believe this. But if I explain to you scientific background why it really works, you will start to believe more. And if you believe more, it would be much more effective for you. So the science behind it, not to say that like, oh there are lots of numbers or cool studies, but just because when I backing up this, people start to believe more, rely on this more. And so when they realize, they believe that what they are doing, they put in more attention to it, and it becomes more effective as practice for them, just because their attention is much more inside of the process. And like as I said before yesterday, so like neuroscience confirmed it with lots of studies that just our thoughts, our emotions, and our energy, they influence our cognitive function and brain structure, as well like as epigenetics say that our beliefs plus our external stimuli, they influence and can also turn our gene on or off. So it's not something that's pre-directed before. It's something that you can influence just with your, again, external stimuli or beliefs. And I'm sure that our listeners know that quantum physics suggests with a lot of different researches that the act of observation itself influences reality at fundamental level. So if I understand, so if we leave this like this and don't watch it, we will have one result. If we watch it and we understand that we are the observers of this, it becomes already different result, just because there is an observer in a situation. So whenever you meditate, you do your Kundalini or any other kind of practice, if you are in that process as an observer, the process becomes different. But if you know why you do this, how it's backed, what results you're gonna have, your results would be much more effective, just because you as observer also come and step into that practice.
So enlightening. It's so amazing to see you speak the way that you do.
Thank you.
So do you do anything else on the side, or is this what you do full time?
This where my most of attention is, because of course I have my business, I have my producer center, like my business empire, but that's something that is working very well, and where all business processes are, on the stage and everything is great. And Genie in the Bottle is something where I put my soul, where I feel like it's my passion.
Your
it's
passion.
Yes.
I feel like I think it's your passion, and you've also found your purpose.
Yes,
in life.
Yes,
and your purpose in life, from what it sounds like, because you sound so excited, yes. Like the enthusiasm you have in your voice, and it just makes me so happy. Like you found, because people go through years in their life, they get to their 40s, their 50s, even their 70s, and they're still trying to figure out, what is my purpose in life? Yeah. What do I love? And the fact that you found what your passion is, and I find that your passion is also is falling into your purpose. Yes. In terms of just spreading love, spreading awareness, going on that journey of research as well. That you've actually, so far, you're using other people's research, and I'm just seeing you. I'm thinking that maybe you need to start conducting your own research.
That's what I'm doing.
I think we had a brief conversation. Yes. Like so many people, and I know you also have your own podcast. You meet so many people, and if you're trying to start to do maybe some sort of small data pilot study, some small analysis, and that is very rich data, because this is day to day. Because when you try and do a lab experiment, and data is always lab stimulated, you're in a room, your scientist is trying to do it under particular conditions. But if you're doing a study completely unfiltered, that is real. That is the real deal. And I feel like that's like your next step for you.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Moreover, before coming here to Cambridge, I put on my profile in LinkedIn that I'm searching a team of researchers, because we already prepared everything for the research. So yeah, we just need to, and we have some negotiations now, and I really hope that it would be here in Cambridge, and I will be super excited if everything would be confirmed. So yeah, probably sometime later you're gonna hear about some exciting lab researches on Kundalini and Genie in a Bottle.
That sounds so exciting. Yeah. Oh, amazing.
I'm so happy with it, yeah.
What type of people would you be looking for in the study?
You mean as researchers or as people, as focus group?
As your focus group. So are you looking for people that actually do the practices, or are you looking for novices?
Both. So there would be different target audience, because we need to see the difference between people who already in practicing, those people who have never tried or like tried once meditation or something, and also for different purposes. So some people, as you said, like who build their career, other people who struggle with some health issues. So there would be different targets, and we will see how differently it influence on different sites. Because what I already have witnessed, like through Genie in a bottle, without any like researches, the people were healing from chronic illnesses. One lady healed cancer. Can you imagine? Like, so it really works. Other people were growing in terms of their financial results. So I see that it works, but again, when it's not lab research, it's different. That's why I want to have this result, to understand what happens in the brain and the body and how it really works, so that we have all the data that we can share with the world. Because again, humanity would like, why everyone doesn't meditate or do Kundalini or any other like breathwork practice that really works? Just because they don't understand how effective it is. If every person in the world would know that when I do this practice, my dream will come true, my health issue will be okay, like my financial will be, everything will be great. If they know for 100%, everyone would do breathwork, Kundalini, meditate, etc. So people don't do it only because they don't have enough data, so that their brain would believe that yes, it really works. That's why I just want to open this up, and I think that the world become much happier. And when each of us happy, when each of us understand that we can live with our purpose, as you said, we become like the light, we become like the genie that make our dream come true. But at the same time, we inspire others. No matter if you have a lot of followers or you inspire your family or your colleagues, it's great. So you become like the light in this world. And when everyone would become a light, our world would change much better. There would be no wars, no all those crazy things that are happening now. And that's why my mission personal is to unite at least 1 billion of people to practice all this, because I believe that if we unite 1 billion, this 1 billion will become this light for other 7 million or billion, so that we're gonna change the world. And yeah, I think that everything starts from inside, and everything we search for outside is also inside of us.
It's also consistency as well. Like once you go into a practice, you have to commit to the practice as well. So I actually, I'm just finishing off my PhD at the moment. And part of my study, I got people, so it's to reduce anxiety, depression, and stress using music. And a lot of people would say to me, like, oh, I listen to music every day. I listen to it on my commute to work. Oh, I listen to it while I'm cleaning the kitchen. And I'm like, no, music is medicine. If you wear it on your head, as headphones, and you're lying down, relaxing, thinking about nothing, not thinking about, I need to pick my children up at school, I need to do this shopping, I need to send this email. Literally just passively listening to music that you love and you enjoy, you can reduce your anxiety, depression, and stress naturally with no pill, no meditation, as in not medication even, and we're healing yourself. I say to you, music is basically exercise with the brain. The same way we need to go to the gym, we exercise our body to get strong and fit and lean. At the same time, to get our brains healthy, we need to both meditate and listen to music, because these are divine tools, because there's something very divine and very spiritual, and both science can back it up through the data, through neuroplasticity, through all of these things. So I think I think we're definitely in the right. We're in the right track.
Absolutely agree with you. Moreover, have you ever tried Kundalini activation? So it's with music.
I do yoga, but no, I haven't tried Kundalini.
But it's very what you are talking about. Like when you lie down, you put the right music. So it's like 50% of Kundalini activation, but there is also like a Kundalini activator, like a facilitator. So I help throughout me to become like a transmission for the energy of person, and like with my hands and with my body I help to transmit it. But music is something that really works, and without music it wouldn't work.
It enhances it. It enhances the effects that you're getting as well, especially when you're listening to non-lyrical music that doesn't elicit any specific emotions. Because sometimes if you listen to a song from a song that you used to listen to with an ex from your past, or from your past, it kind of brings back those memories. But if you're listening to music that just brings you back into the zen, into the zone, that is the music that really truly is powerful and it really works.
Wow, yeah, that's amazing. And I'm very curious about how all this works, and that's why I think we're gonna have the data, and it's gonna change the world.
It's gonna change the world. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So what does your family have to say about all of this, like changing and finding your new because do they think this is a bit woo-woo, or are they kind of like, she knows what she's talking about?
My parents, I really am very grateful them because they're very supportive to any kind of things that I do. So I'm sure that if tomorrow I decide to become a ballet dancer, they would say, Jenny, you would be amazing. So I love them, and I feel their support for any kind of, sphere that I go. And I think that's the most important, our families, our closest ones. And it's so important to feel that gratefulness and love, and
and I think I feel that it's coming through your practices every day. So talk me through this whole Kundalini process. Do you do it once a day, twice a day? Like how does it work?
So let me tell you a bit more about the Genie in a bottle. So how it became Genie in a bottle, because first I was practicing meditations. Then I started to practice active Kundalini meditations that were part of tantric school. Then I started to practice tantra, then breathwork. Then I went to ashram, and there were a lot of new different energy practices. Then there was like a non-duality practice, and in like different schools, different masters, different, let's say, names of the practices, but the main purpose and meaning of them were the same: connecting with ourselves, connecting with divine, and finding this divine inside of us, and going into the right state of this, let's say, bliss. And the methodology of Genie in a bottle, it's also worth transforming, because the more I was growing up, the more I was learning about new methodologies. I just was seeing the new perspective and effectiveness of different methods. And so I discovered the methodology that for me was working the best way. Then I got also focus group. Then I got a lot of people that were growing and going through this methodology. So the main idea is that first we go into the right state, because as I said, transformation never starts with the thought, it starts with a state. Mm-hmm. So if you want anything in this life, again, no matter we talk about financial success, we talk about family, happiness, everything starts with state. And to get into the right state, you have to practice exactly those things that change and transform your state. So it's or Kundalini activation, or it's breathwork, or it's Tantra. And on Genie in a bottle, we practice both. So I have the exact instruments that help to put person in right state. And this first. Second step is about embodying our highest goals. So we imagine the best results, the best dream life that we can ever imagine, and we become the one who already achieved it. And when throughout practice you don't just think about what is success to me, what is dream life to me, but you become this. You become the person who already have everything. And that's why I call this like you uncover your inner genie, because we are used to look for love outside, for someone who's gonna support us, for someone who's gonna make our dreams come true, who's gonna come from somewhere and do something for us. And we just forget that genie was always been inside of us, and that what we have to do is just to connect with ourselves. And transformation never about the external world. It's never about like actions that you do in the outside world. It's about what kind of person I have to become so that I would be aligned with those goals that I desire. So the second step is just to align and to transform from inside so that you go out of this practice of this training and you feel like you already achieved everything and you live with this feeling. And when you live with this feeling, your decisions are different, your perspectives are different, the way you filter opportunities different, because as our reticular activating program work, it's just become like a brain filter for anything we see in the world. And in the world happening everything right now, but only where is my focus of attention? That's something that is coming to me. So if today I start to think about Lamborghini of red color, tomorrow I will see everywhere red color Lamborghini. Why? Just because our reticular activation formation work like this. And the more we embody what we really want and become that person, the more we, like our focus of attention, see exactly what we want. And the more we see examples in the world, the more we embody it, and the more it becomes closer to us. The third step of this process is, of course, actions. And it's the most difficult thing because usually it sounds so easy. You just put all your goals, you write the plan, and you just go and follow that plan. But if it was so easy, why everyone just didn't put their goals, didn't put the plan, and just go and follow? Then everyone would achieve everything. It would be easy. But the problem is that we have this barrier, inner barrier, to start, to do this first step. That's why on training, we do the first step right there. And everyone has so much, fears, anxiety, everything like come up, because it's okay to talk about goals. It's okay to do practicing. But when it comes to the first step, everything that we have been programming throughout our life comes up. And we work on those programs. So we let them go and we just do this first step. So on training, everyone have to do this first action whenever it's call someone, agree on some negotiation, and agree on some Zoom call, propose to some clients to buy something. So whenever it is, which kind of goal it is, or to call to your loved one that you was feeling that it was painful. So whenever it is something that your ego say, oh no, I would not do this, not today, not tomorrow. And that's why we are like going away from our dreams and from our dream lives, because our ego says like, no, I won't do this. So we do this exactly there. And the last and the most important step is letting go of all those amazing goals and dream lives that we were, creating. Because yes, it's amazing to understand where we want to be. It's amazing to have a plan. But the more we become attached to the goal, the more it comes from us. And again, psychological studies confirm, because the more a person has excessive, this attachment to outcome, it triggers our stress responses, and it triggers amygdala. And that's why, again, our decision-making process, our intuition is just blocked. It's limited. That's why the more you let go, and again, the studies on surrender and non-duality by Lisa Farrett from Harvard, it also says that the moment you start to release this excessive attachment to outcome, the more, paradoxically, your cognitive function become to work more effectively. And again, your the structure and the way you solve your problem become much more better. So the more we let go of those things that we want, the more magnetic we become for them. And the main idea, like if you would ask me, so what is the main idea of all this process? The main idea is to understand where I want, like to connect with ourselves, to understand where I really want to go. What is my purpose? What is my dream life? Not in terms of what is cool, what is would be accepted by social world or my family or something. What I really want to do in this life, and what are the real goals or dreams I want to follow because of my inner voice. Then we connect with it, then we embody it, then we put ourselves in the right state. From that right state, we do this first step, and in the end, we let go of everything. So yes, I have a plan, I follow the plan, but I'm in this moment, I'm in present moment. I appreciate what I already have. I feel grateful for what I already achieved. And with this feeling of gratefulness and appreciation, we start to move on. Because if we don't feel happy right now, if we don't feel grateful for what we already have, that future moment where we get everything we want, we also would be not happy. Because if we're not happy right now, that future moment also would become present moment. So there is no future. That future would become present. If I'm not happy right now, I would never ever be happy. So the only way to change future is to change your state and acceptance of this world or situation right now.
Amazing. I think that's a really lovely way to end this podcast. Super enlightening, super into Kundalini. I'm going to try it out now.
Yeah.
That's one thing I haven't tried so far. So
you have to.
I'll definitely come spend some time with you and learn more about it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for invitation. It's such an honor to be here in Cambridge. Wow. Yeah, so the last thing I want to tell to each of you is don't look for a genie outside, because you are the genie. Remember that.
Thank you.
Thank you.